What's going on, everybody? It's Conti here with another video. In today's video we are going to have a go at creating the album cover for Borderline by the Synthwave music group Duett. So Photoshop windows open at the ready, please. Go to File and New. Width and height of your new canvas should be 1200 pixels and the background should be transparent. Click OK. Go to Edit, Preferences and Units and Rulers. Inside the Unit section, make sure Rulers is set to pixels. This will enable us to measure particular layers using pixels later on in this tutorial. Click OK. Go to select your Gradient tool. Click on your Gradient Picker window. In your Gradient presets, which appears in your Gradient editor, select one particular gradient with two shades. I'm going to select the red and green one, for example. Left click on the stop on the left side. Double click on the color section which appears underneath. The code that you want for this particular shade in this gradient will be F4ACBA. Click OK. Now left click on the second stop on the right side of your gradient section. Double click on the color and set the code to the following: CF7CB2. Click OK. With the two colors selected, click OK again. Drag your mouse cursor to the top left corner of your canvas. Left click, hold your mouse button down, hold Shift, drag your mouse cursor down to the opposite corner in the bottom right. Let go of your left mouse button once your mouse cursor is at the opposite corner. Go to Edit, Preferences, Guides, Grid and Slices. Within the Grid section, set the grid line to every 299 pixels. Subdivisions should be set to 11. I'm going to use a light grey set of lines for this particular grid here. Click OK. Go to View. Ensure that Snap is ticked. Then go to Show and make sure that you left click once on Grid so that is ticked. The grid itself should now appear on your canvas. I'm going to use the Zoom tool to zoom in slightly more to about 50%. Locate the 21st horizontal line down, the first dotted line which appears above your second subdivision. Go to your Shape tools and select the Line tool. Set the weight of your line to 5 pixels and the color to white. Left click on your 21st horizontal line down, hold your left mouse button down and drag your mouse cursor to the opposite side of the screen. Ensure that you drag your mouse cursor off the canvas edge slightly so that the line stretches across the entire canvas. If you leave your mouse cursor within the canvas, the line will only go up to the 4th subdivision line which appears vertically on your grid and won't cover the whole canvas. So I'm going to drag my mouse cursor to the right slightly more. Let go of your left mouse button. Right click on your new shape layer which appears in your layer list and go to Duplicate Layer. Click OK on the window which appears. Now using your Move tool with the Shape 1 copy layer selected, left click on the line and drag that down to the next horizontal line down. Let go of your left mouse button once your new white line is now over the 22nd line down, which should be the second subdivision line. Repeat this process another 3 times so that you have 5 lines altogether going across the middle of your canvas. I'm going to remove the grid for this next section here by simply going back to View, Show and unticking Grid by left clicking once. Left click on Window and click on Info. Go to your Ellipse tool, which you will find where you selected the Line tool previously. Left click on your canvas, hold Shift and drag your mouse cursor out to draw a new circle. Right click on your new shape layer and choose Rasterize Layer. Double click on the layer name and rename this Sun. Press enter when you're done. Now press Ctrl and T. Your sun shape should now be selected inside the info window, which has now appeared. The X and Y coordinates of your shape are positioned next to the width and height references. Ensure that your sun is on this particular position on your canvas. X coordinates should be 262, Y should be 245. Width and height should be roughly 345. Should you wish to change any of these at all, the coordinates can be manipulated by using your Move tool once more and dragging the sun to a particular part of the canvas, like so, by left clicking, holding the mouse button down and dragging the mouse cursor. Press Ctrl and Z if you make a mistake. Use Command instead of Control if you're a Mac user. And should you wish to resize the sun using the Ctrl and T transform option, as I have done here, hold in Shift and left click in one of the corners, hold your mouse button down to resize your sun as you drag the mouse cursor up or down. Press Enter when you're done. Go to your Gradient tool once more, click on your Gradient Picker window and choose a 2-color gradient. Here we will create the gradient for the sun shape. The first color stop should have the following shade applied with the code D07DB3, and the second shade on the right here at location 100% should be F4ACBA. Hold Ctrl on your keyboard and left click on your sun layer. A selection should now appear around your circle. With your gradient tool still selected, drag your mouse cursor to the top left corner of your selection, left click, hold Shift, drag your mouse cursor to the opposite side, the bottom right, let go of your left mouse button and let go Shift. Press Ctrl and D to deselect the sun. And select the rectangle tool. Left click in your canvas, hold your mouse button down, drag your mouse cursor out to draw a rectangle. Ensure that you hold Shift as you are doing this, so that you create a square. Using your info window once more, ensure that the X and Y coordinates are set to the following, 206 to 220, and ensure that the width and height are roughly 765. Again, ensure that you press Ctrl and T with your shape layer selected, so that you are able to resize and reposition this particular square. Press Enter when you're done. Right click on your square shape layer and go to Rasterize Layer. Rename this layer C. Go back to your gradient tool once more. This time in your gradient editor, select a particular gradient with 3 shades instead of 2. What you can also do in order to create these stops yourselves is simply left click underneath this gradient shade here in the desired location and a stop should appear. Should you create too many, simply left click on the stop so that the arrow above the particular square turns to black so that you know it is selected, and left click on delete. The first color stop on the left should be placed at location 0%. and the color code will be 9794C9. For the second color stop, type in 63 as the location percentage number, and the color shade code you want is B2C9E9. And the third and final color stop should be positioned at location 69%, and the color shade code you want here will be 9794C9. Click OK. Click OK to create your gradient. Hold Ctrl on your keyboard and left click on your C layer. Drag your mouse cursor to the top of your selection for the C layer. Left click, hold your mouse button down, drag your mouse cursor to the bottom. Then drag your mouse cursor to the right slightly so that the X value in your info window is around 15. In this occasion here, I'm going to leave it at 16. Let go of your left mouse button. Press Ctrl and D to deselect. Double click to the right of the C layer name to open up Layer Style. Left click and select the stroke option. Ensure size is set to 3, position outside, blend mode normal, opacity 100%, and fill type color. We will set the color of this particular border to white. If you double click on the black rectangle underneath the field type header, the hexadecimal code you want here will be 6Fs. Click OK and click OK again. Go back to your shape button and choose Polygon Tool. Select 3 sides, color white. Left click anywhere in the canvas, hold your mouse down and drag your mouse cursor outwards to reveal your shape. Now hold Shift on your keyboard and rotate your mouse cursor clockwise until you get a triangle with one corner pointing directly upwards, like so. Let go of your left mouse button when you're done, let go of Shift. Right click on your new triangle shape layer, go to Rasterize Layer. Go to View, Show and Grid. I've changed my grid to black so you can see this next section better. Ensure that the top corner of your triangle is parallel with a particular line. Here in this case I've used a subdivision line to go through the halfway point of my new triangle shape. Left click on your Marquee tools and select the rectangular Marquee tool. Left click a block or two just above the top corner of your triangle. Hold your mouse cursor down and drag it so that the new selection line covers the entire height of your shape. Then drag your mouse cursor to the right until you have selected the whole of the right side of the triangle. Ensure that your triangle shape layer is selected. Press Delete on your keyboard. Press Ctrl and D to deselect. Go to select your paint bucket tool from where you selected the gradient tool last time. In the colour window to the side, double click on the foreground colour, which is the box in front. If you can't see this window at all, go to Window and ensure that colour is ticked. The colour code you want here will be 4ABCBD. Click OK. Rename this triangle layer as Sail. With your sail layer still selected, left click with your paint bucket tool inside the actual triangle. Go to View and untick Snap. Press Ctrl and T and ensure that the width of the actual triangle is 400 pixels and the height is 736. Position the sail at around 500 for X, mine is at 498. And Y should be set to around 100, mine is set to 97. Press Enter. Go back to your Shape tool again to select the Rectangle tool. The width of your new rectangle should be roughly 530, mine is 531, and your height should be roughly 60, mine is set to 58. Right click on your new rectangle layer and go to Rasterize Layer. Rename the new rectangle layer as Boat. With Ctrl and T pressed again for the transform layer, place the boat layer below the sail layer. Using your grid to help you as well, you'd want roughly a row and a half between the sail and the boat as space. Right click on the selected boat layer and choose Skew. Hold Shift, left click on the bottom right corner box. Pay attention to the height number in your info window. Drag the box down till it's roughly 70 as height. I'm going to leave it at 69 again. Let go of your left mouse button, let go of Shift. Right click on the shape once more and this time choose Warp. Again, using your grid once more to help, left click on the bottom right box and drag it left to the next vertical line along. Ensure that you avoid dragging the box up or down. Let go of your left mouse button once you're on the next vertical line, which in my case here appears to the left of the third subdivision line on my grid. Press Enter. Go back to your gradient tool once again. Select 2 colours. The first colour on the left should be white with all Fs used as the hexadecimal code. Location should be 0%. and the second stop, which should be located at 80%, should have the following code: B5CAE9. Click OK. Click OK again. Hold Ctrl and left click on your boat layer. Drag your mouse cursor to the left side of your selection. Hold Shift, left click, drag your mouse cursor to the right. Let go of the left mouse button once your cursor is on the right side of your boat. Press Ctrl and D to deselect. Go to create a new layer. Rename this layer Splash. Ensure that white is selected as the foreground color. Go to the brush tool. From your brush options, try and find a splatter look for your brush. In this case here, I'm going to use number 17. Go to your brush presets option. Click on brush. Tick on shape dynamics. Size jitter should be set to 51%. Pen pressure. Minimum diameter 0%. Angle jitter 65%. Control off. Roundness jitter 0%. Control off. Flip X jitter and Flip Y jitter should both be ticked. In your new splash layer, left click on the lower side of your boat and drag your mouse cursor to the left to draw your waves. I'm going to reduce the brush size slightly as I draw some splashes on the rear side of the boat inside the same splash layer. The further away I get from the boat, the smaller the brush sizes will be. Go to Filter, Stylize and Wind. Choose Wind as method and direction from the right. Click OK. Go to Filter, Blur and Gaussian Blur. Set the radius to 2 pixels. Click OK. Hold Ctrl and left click on your splash, boat and sail layers. Right click and go to Merge Layers. Rename the merged layer as Boat 1. Now right click and go to Duplicate Layer. Rename this new layer as Boat 2. Click OK. Select your Paint Bucket tool. Choose white as your paint color. Left click on your second boat sail. With your second boat layer selected, press Ctrl and T. Change the width to 42% and apply the same to the height. Position the second boat using the following coordinates. X should be 172, Y should be 468. Press enter when you're done. Left click on your sun layer and drag this layer up so it is in between the second boat layer on top and the first boat layer underneath. The white sail should be in front of the sun. Open up your signature image. Go to select your Magic Wand tool. Left click once on the white of the S. The whole of the white signature writing should be selected apart from the dot above the I. Hold in Shift on your keyboard and left click once on this to make sure that this is selected also. Press Ctrl and C to copy. Go back to your album cover project, press Ctrl and V to paste. Rename this new layer Signature. Press Ctrl and T on your keyboard. Reduce the height and the width of this particular layer to 35%. Press Enter. Go to your Text tool. Set the font to Century, font size 90 pt, style none, center aligned and white as the font color. After typing each character for your album title, press space and then type in the subsequent character, like so. Ensure that these are in capitals as well. Select the Move tool. Using the grid to help me once more, I've positioned my album title in the middle of my canvas using the second subdivision as help to mark the halfway point on my canvas, and I've left 3 rows as a gap between the top of my canvas and the album title. Ensure that you have your info window up again for this next part. Hold Ctrl and left click once on Boat 2, Sun, Boat 1 and C so that these are all now selected. Press Ctrl and T. Left click once on one of the corners and drag all 4 layers clockwise until A is roughly 4 degrees. Press Enter. Now using your Move tool, left click on your signature layer and drag this down to the bottom right corner. The right side of the signature should just brush past the bottom right corner of your C image, and the final letter should appear to the right of the white border, like so. I'm also going to place the title at the top slightly to the right, closer towards the green sail here. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that video was useful to you. To support this channel, please like and subscribe. Join me soon for another video. Take care.